Awesome. I think that we are live. I think it's working. So if it's working, let me know. It just started raining really hard and then it stopped. So hopefully no power goes out or any issues. Having a bit of a rough hair day, but good news. I've got a hat that I show my super awesome hat. This is my first ever hat project and I'm almost done. I've got a hand sew the lining down and then I might have to tack a little bit, hand tack, and then I'm gonna do a ribbon. But I thought it was looking really good and I wanted to share it with some people who might appreciate my super awesome hat. If you don't like anything about it, don't tell me. I'm just very excited to have gotten this far and I think it looks amazing. So many hours have gone into this stupid hat. I wanted to share it because it's looking good. Anyway, but today is an exciting day because we are going to be crafting. So let's jump in. Oh, perfect. Thank you for letting me know it's working. I want to thank you guys all for joining, for spending time with me. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be hanging out, and I'm excited for you guys to join. I hope you guys are crafting, or if not crafting, doing something fun, like driving. I know my parents might be watching, and they're driving. Yeah, I'm only 35. Let's see. So today we finished a couple of cards last week, and then I was gonna do another fun live on Monday, and I got super sick. So I'm feeling much better, but we're still not finished with our art journal. And for those who weren't here last week, I'm trying to get better at drawing. So I've been drawing random words, so like a random word and an art style, and that's what's going in this book, and I just draw whatever I'm inspired to draw based on those two words. So this one was ancient Egyptian and focus, and then this one is contemporary adventure. I have made quite a bit of progress where we've got the whole compass and the letters done. That's what we did last time. And then since then, I've been drawing in with pencil some kind of fantasy adventure vibes. So we've got, I don't know if you can see that, but a little dragon in a cave, a gate, some mountains with some people climbing on them. I'm starting some trees down here. This is going to be a lantern in the starlight, and then a ship on the sea. So if you have any other ideas for fun fantasy style adventure stuff that I should add in here, let me know. We might work on drawing, outlining some of these lines today, but we might not. We'll see. We've got till 7:45 because then I've got to go watch Survivor with my sister because we're still doing that. There's still a couple weeks to Survivor. I'm not a huge Survivor person, but I have been enjoying doing the Survivor League. Fantasy League. The Survivor Fantasy League. I could not think of that word. So, we finished our cards that we were working on. So we're going to start some new ones. And I've got this Cora Cray Crafts box. And it's like all similar vibes. And I don't know what this one's called, but it's like Lock, Keys, and Mysteries, apparently, is what this one's called. So that's what I thought we would use because they've got some cute stuff. They've got this Prima antique metalware where it's like keys and locks, which is cute. Probably not for a card, but they're cute because they're metal, so it'd be too heavy. we'll keep those. But we've got this super cute book of all these wonderful stickers we could use. A bunch of envelopes, small envelopes. We could use as envelopes or cut up. There's also some large ones. Then this one is stamps, and I want to use these, but I thought they were so cool. A bunch of ephemera of like doors and handles and just a bunch of different stuff that I think it looks really cool. We can definitely use those. Some little sentiments: sparkle like glitter, follow your bliss, believe in your magic. I don't love that one. I'll probably just throw that one away. Then we've also got some like letters. And then these are the bigger envelopes. I have a wisteria, castle walls, keyhole, wood. The vibe is a little AI art. You can tell kind of that AI-ness, but I don't love that. But otherwise, I think it's a really cute set. And then here are those antique ephemera pieces. And the black and white paper and a little bit of washi tape. So, plenty of stuff to play with. And I'll take that out to the car, or to the recycling, because they're coming soon. And this paper, that is cute. We could probably use some of this paper in some of our cards. I thought for today, rather than putting everything together, what we could start with doing is stamping out some of these stamps and painting them. I'm just feeling like paint. Feeling like watercolor paint sounds like the plan for me today. Try and, oh my gosh, get everything out of the way. So we will just get this out. Ooh, okay. Locked in thoughts, bound in ink, unlock the day, turn the key, sealed. Those are cute. Cute sentiments. I'm thinking we stamp and emboss these on a couple different cardstocks, paint our heart out today, and on Friday, we can make the cards, put them all together. Okay. See. Here we go. Make sure that this, we'll put it on the edge so I can continually put it, know where the right space is. There we go. I don't think it matters if I do it upside down or not. I guess anybody who's joining, let me know if you have a work in progress that you're working on, if you're doing anything fun. This is my current project, the one I showed you earlier, and then we're starting this one, and then I'm finishing my hat, and then I'm so excited. I'm done with this very large sewing project that has been going on for weeks and weeks. I'll be very happy to move on and do something else. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Put that there. Squeeze as much as we can in. Okay. Sealed. Locked thoughts. Oops. There we go. Bound in ink. I think that one's cute. Unlock the day and turn the key. Those might be more inside the card thoughts, so I'll save those. And then grab those. Oh, hold on, sorry. This thing is, I got a piece of paper, and of course it is falling. There we go. Awesome. Now we need to stamp these, and we need to emboss them. So, we could do clear or white or black. Maybe white and black might be fun. I've also got some colors. All right there is a bunch of embossing colors that we could also do. So that's an option that we should keep open. And it's back. Oops, sorry. Okay. Let's jump in and we'll use this Lost Shadow Distress Oxide. And this is the first time I'm using this, so I might prep it just a little bit. By wiping it down and rubbing it a little bit with my hands to kind of rough up the surface just a tiny bit. I want that to be straight. Okay. And let's try this. Oh, before we do, anti-sag powder tool so we don't get stuff where we don't want it. Okay. Let's hope this works. Ooh. These are going to be pretty detailed stamps. I'm hoping they stamp well and emboss well. We'll see. And just nice, even pressure. I give it just a second to sit. Give it time for the ink to transfer. Before we... Oh, that's disappointing. Does that help at all? Oh gosh. I don't know if the stamps are uneven or there's air bubbles behind them. I don't know. That's really disappointing. Might have to get the blocks out. Use some pressure. See, that helped a little bit, but we've still got a big chunk missing there and down here. Just okay, kind of got that one. I think that's about as good as we can do on this. Let's see. Let's go with the black. I think that'll give us the best idea of what we're working with. And we'll use this. So, okay. This is one of my favorite crafting things, is this embossing. It just gives you such an amazing result. It goes from being this real dusty powder to being plastic. I mean, that's what it is. You heat up these tiny little plastic granules that are sticking to the wet stamping material. We're missing some of that. And then it becomes water resistant. So when we watercolor over it, it'll resist the pigment, and we'll get the pigment in other places. But we stamped that so many times that it just kind of bled all together, which is really disappointing. I was going to do this part before the live, and then of course I ran out of time. I might have been working on my hat. And, well, at the very least, I think we can still use these. It'll be a little bit different vibe than I was going for initially, but that's fine. And this is my, oh, great. This is my first stamp set from this company, so I think I've got another 1 or 2 stamps, so we'll see if they're better, because if they're this quality, all of them, I'm gonna be real disappointed and not buy any more stamps from you. Because if you can't get the stamp to stamp well without babying it, it's just too much work. And then just a little blow gets most of the extra ink off. Now, I'm gonna grab, here we go. Okay, ready for the magic? Okay, here we are. I think it looks cool. I don't know. Let me add a little more heat. I think we overstamped and understamped in different places. And that problem is either the stamping thing's fault or the stamp's fault. So let's try a different stamp block and see if that helps. Grab those off real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, I don't know who I'm making these cards for yet, so I don't really have a theme or anything, I have at my church, they do like a crafting ministry where most of the people knit or crochet, and then they give it to like hospitals and other type organizations like that in our area. And so I offered to make some cards because the hospital lady, the hospital minister came and talked to us and was like, we really appreciate all the stuff you're doing. Here's some things we need. And I was like, I don't knit and I don't crochet. And I absolutely do not need a new hobby. They really tried to push me to learn to knit and crochet. And I was like, no. I don't got any more room in my house for a whole new hobby. So instead, why don't I make some cards? And she was like, oh, I love cards. So that's kind of where we're starting here. That's more of a color with Copic markers. And why we're doing why I don't have much of a thought. I've been trying to make like one card for me to send because I want to send out more cards, and then one card to give away. So that's kind of the goal we're going for. Let's try this, which was the one we had a lot of trouble with. And I don't see any bubbles. Anti-static Gus. I was really hoping to do a lot of painting as opposed to this part of the crafting today. It is not happening. So I did ask her what kind of sentiment and sympathy and like general encouragement cards was what she asked for. So last week I did hello. Okay, that's better. It for sure stamped better. Let's go ahead and do some white. We'll just do one at a time. I'm afraid of it drying too fast. Doing it one at a time. So either I didn't get this, I did a bad job putting them down on the stamping pad, or the stamping pad's issues, or these still just are kind of finicky to stamp with. Just the rounded shape of this block helps. We will see. I might test it and see, or I might just not. I care, who knows? Okay, so we've got some nice stamp there. Oh, see, this one did not stamp in that same place it didn't stamp before. And I can't go back and try and restamp because I'll just mess the whole thing up. Okay. Maybe you can see better there. There's still that big hole right there. That's disappointing. Okay. Let's get a couple more. We'll do these two and then we'll paint a little bit, and I can prepare for our next one tomorrow. Yes, and we will have a live on Friday if you're interested in joining. Here we go. Stamp this one. See, that one stamped better. Got a little bit here that didn't stamp. Okay. And there we go. The problem with stamping this way is it's a lot of time. It's a bit time intensive, which I don't love, which is why I like doing it all on the stamping platform as opposed to this way. Okay. And key. We'll do the sword. I think there's space for the sword. And honestly, we'll just do that one at the same time. So this is why it's important to get high quality stamps. Because if you don't, then you end up with problems like these where you put a lot of time and effort into stamps that are never going to get you a great stamping product. So the way you can make it a positive, though, is how we're going to do it, and it's about working with the imperfections rather than making everything really crisp. Will make it kind of vintage looking. So the fact that don't have the perfect stamping actually kind of looks intentional, hopefully. Okay. Almost done. This little gothic window, which I thought was adorable. And I may, okay, hold on. Now I changed the landscape so that then we wouldn't have issues going that way. Perfect. And we'll do this one. And then we'll add 1 or 2 sentiments and call it a day. Oh, and see, that one didn't stamp very well. I just don't love that. Just disappointed. These may be more texture stamps than stampy stamps. Blocks, thoughts, bound in ink. I don't really know what these sentiments are, but that's okay. Pour a little white on. And this will do the same exact thing as the black ink did. There we go. And here. I feel like time moves so much faster when I'm crafting. It's felt to me like 5 minutes since I started, and coming up on 30. Found ink. Awesome. Okay. I'll put a little bit of stuff on here, and here we go. Now this is my like $10 heat gun. Oh. $10 heat gun from Lowe's. You can buy the $40 one from the craft stores, but honestly, that one is more powerful and works better. So I would get the one from Lowe's because why spend more? And I completely forgot to pour the powder on the thoughts, so we won't use those. But I think we can go ahead and do some water, and I got a little bit of water. Let me put this back real quick. And that one. Okay. So what we will do, give me 2 seconds. Okay, I think we'll use some of these Jane Davenport layer cakes, which are actually, I think, more of a gouache than a watercolor, but that's okay. We will use them because they're fun. I think also these ones that have a little bit more shimmer to them. We could use, we'll save this because we've got the shimmer here. So maybe some pink, and I'll scooch this over a little bit. Pink diamond is gold, antique, maybe the silver fox, and then some of these browns. Oh, I just can't say no. This whole palette looks great. And maybe a little bit of this. Okay, we've got that. Grab a little bit, grab a paintbrush, and this paintbrush. Okay, I did not get water beforehand, so we'll just use a little bit of this water. Wake up the paper, wake up our ink, and get started. Okay, so maybe a little bit of this kind of pale tan color. Ooh, I think that looks nice. Maybe grab some of this antique mall. That's a mouth. I was like, that's interesting. I don't know what a mouth is. Here we go. Just pouncing it on the background. Honestly, don't have a plan at this point other than getting a little bit of color on here. Maybe some of this green. Might be nice. And don't worry about the contamination. If we need to get rid of any contamination, we can just take a little bit of a wet paintbrush and pull it off. Okay. Here we go. Maybe a tiny bit more of the green. I love green. Drop that in. I was looking it up because I was thinking about colors and what colors make or supposedly do what emotion, you know, connect to or enhance or try and get you to feel a certain emotion. And I was like, what is excitement? What is the emotion that aligns with excitement? Apparently it's red. I was thinking like yellow, maybe, but apparently not. Apparently red is the excitement color, which was interesting. Not at all what I expected. I don't know. What color do you think of for excitement? I get that blue's kind of low key. So I guess whatever the opposite of blue is on the color wheel. So maybe orange. So maybe red's not that far off. I don't know. Thoughts? Concerns? I'm slightly concerned that red is the color of excitement. I don't know. Does not scream excitement to me. Okay. Maybe pull a little bit of the darker color. Clean that off just a little bit. Kind of work it in. But I do think we need a little bit more color coming from that side. Maybe that's where we can bring in a little bit of gold. Add the gold there. That looks nice. Now I'm trying not to do too much because the metallic pigment kind of tends to take over. So you want to keep it maybe a little bit less than you actually want. There. Okay. Maybe flowers can be. Here we go. Something. There's something there. I don't know. Pull a little bit of that and then kind of blend out the colors. Okay. I think that looks good. Now, just imagine these dry and, fussy cut out. I'll fussy cut them between now and Friday. I'm leaning towards this wild pink. I don't know. It doesn't really fit with the other colors, but we're going to go for it. See, maybe this seems like more of an excitement kind of color. Vibrant pink, like a magenta. Let's pull just a little there. Maybe that. Maybe a little bit with these flowers. I'm kind of feeling a flower vibe with this color, so we'll just drop it in there. I feel like on the sword key, it's gonna read a little too blood as opposed to get some clean water here, which is still, of course, pink coated, but that's okay. Blend it out just a little bit to the surrounding colors so it looks like it's supposed to be here. There we go. And pull it around here. Now I think I'm just gonna plop some water and let the water do the work on this one. See that gold just takes over. Maybe if we put a little bit more pink down. I think that should work. And then up here, we definitely need to blend that out a little bit because it kind of takes over that one. I think we need a little bit of brown here. So we'll mix these two, not quite as dark. There we go. Clean the water a little bit. Kind of pull that down. Okay. I don't know, we might have just made trash, but who knows? Who knows? Let's get a little bit of this silver and pull it in here. Ooh, actually that looks delightful. If we can just get a little bit more, I think we'll have something there. That's not bad. Maybe add just a tiny bit of silver to that guy. And add a tiny bit of silver here at the top. Like I said, just a bit. It will take over. And we've already got the gold there, so I don't think we need to add any. But we can add just a little bit to these guys. Okay. And I think that's good. What I'll do is let this dry, and then I'll come in with a baby wipe and just wipe over the top. And just to take away the pigment that's lying on the top. You can kind of already see it working, but it works best when you let it fully dry first. So that's what we'll do here. And we'll jump in over here. And I think we can go a lot darker colors. So let's see. And awesome. So we've got some of this pink. I feel like we need some pink. Go ahead, drop that in. Maybe down here too. That's fun. Add some more of the pigment. And since we're going pink, let's add some more of this brew color. Maybe there. Okay. There we go. Next, I'm feeling brown. Let's go brown. Let's add it in. Oh, we're almost at time, so just get a little bit here. Pull that. Now, apparently I've oversprayed that one. Oh, it'll dry. And we can add some maybe silver and gold and call it good. There we go. We could do antique, but maybe some of the like more vibrant gold. And do little spurts here and there. I do think a little bit of the silver will kind of help balance the warmth that's coming in from the brown and the gold to kind of marry the pink in, which pink has some warm tones, but I think a little bit of the silver kind of just harmonize everything. Okay, and silver. Let's go. Let me add just a tiny bit water. Pick up more silver so that it all just kind of blend in together. There we go. And I'll do the same thing where I'll let this dry and then I'll wipe off the extra ink from the top of, yeah, there we go, of the embossing. Might have overdone that. And yeah, put that there. And I've already added there. I think that's good. Honestly, I think that's going to look okay once we let it dry. Grab all that ink and we'll just let this dry. I will fussy cut these out and I might do a few others tomorrow if I get time, just so we've got it all ready to go. We can kind of put some cards together. Thank you guys so much for joining. I had a great time crafting with you guys. I hope you have a great time too. Let's, fingers crossed, hope Ozzy stays in and does not get kicked out of Survivor tonight, because I'm hanging into that top 5 position in our league right now. If he gets out, I think I'm pretty far down. So, see y'all on Friday, or for those watching the replay, I'll see y'all soon. Have an amazing, awesome, wonderful, crafty day. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you who watches whenever you watch. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.